My name is Max Stein, and I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we talk treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Today, we're mostly going to be gushing about tomorrow because this is our last show of 2024. Gentlemen, congrats all around. We just had our birthday episode last year. We're going into year 2 of our podcast.
Hell yeah.
That's
dude.
pretty fucking cool if you
Isn't it?
ask me.
I'm so excited.
We had people
about
at the very beginning that were like, I really like the format. I hope you guys can keep up the weekly thing. All I could say was, we do too.
Yeah, me too. It's been an incredible year for video games, by the way. What a fantastic year to start our podcast. 2023, right? Baldur's Gate runs away with the game of the year. So it wouldn't have been very interesting. This year, holy shit. The Game of the Year Awards was crazy. It ends up Astrobot wins and Balatro's in there, and there's an infinite wealth and all that craziness. It was a fantastic year to be our first year of podcasting. However, next year, got some pretty exciting shit coming out. Not only have a bunch of shit that we knew about, but the Game Awards has introduced us to shit that I didn't even think I didn't know I had to be excited for.
Right.
Now I am. So today we're going to be going over some of that stuff, and we're also going to be double checking our gaming resolutions from last year. Our second episode of all time saw us making some gaming resolutions for 2024. And we're going to review them and see how well we did. And then, of course, we're going to make some resolutions for 2025 and see if we can manage to stick to those a little bit better than we did this time. Yep. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and kick off our episode per tradition with having the Megabuck and RetroGameTreasure.com take us back in time to this week's Retro Zone.
Let's go back in time.
Well, that's the wrong song.
I was like, oh shit, are we starting with that?
And it's perfect.
Whoa!
That's staying in.
Is that what you call like an inside joke?
Did
now
you get
if any
scared when you thought the
That was a jump scare,
gaming
man.
snob was going to come out?
Like, oh no, we're starting the episode
The art
with
snob?
the
God, I didn't even think to put him in. I should have had him make an appearance before the last episode finished. Dang
Hey,
it.
you know what? He
funny.
can be in the first episode of next year.
Yeah, all right.
Magical.
Sorry about that. Go
It's
ahead.
okay. It's fun. It's like an inside joke now. If you listen to the podcast, you're like, what was that music? They're like, oh, that's the art snob music. It's funny. Today, I'm going to a console that we carry here at Retro Game Treasure, but I can't remember if I've done a Retro Zone for it yet. Today, we're going to be on the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh,
Cool.
shit, okay.
I
Nice.
love
Right?
the 3DS
Yeah, pretty good.
very much.
3DS is a great console, which has pretty much been forgotten now because the Switch is a DS on steroids, right?
Mhm.
Right back there, behind me.
And I know we still love our
Yeah,
DS
yeah,
and
it's great.
3DSs, yeah, for sure. This game is a very interesting one. It is the first game in the series. It's a series that
Okay.
was developed by more than one developer.
Okay.
And the second developer is pretty interesting. It's one of those second party developers. You know, we always say like, what the hell is that? First party is if it's in-house. Third party is if it's out of house. Second party is like you're not in-house,
front
but you
lawn.
only make games exclusively for that console and that
yes.
developer.
Okay,
right?
I understand.
Oh, I see. Kind of like
That
Rare used to
developer-
be for Nintendo, right?
Yes, and that developer is Retro Studios. Retro Studios also made Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, Tropical Freeze, and that remake of Tropical Freeze a few years ago as well, too. I am talking about Mario Kart 7
Oh,
for the 3DS.
okay.
Whoa.
I didn't know that there was a Mario Kart for the 3DS.
I didn't know there was a second party developer involved.
Yeah. This was, besides the Mario Kart GP, which is the arcade series, this is the only Mario Kart game that was developed by two developers, and only the second one to be developed not in-house by Nintendo. The first would be Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance.
Whoa.
This game was the first game to feature the Nintendo Network service, the online service where you could do communities and share all the other things too.
The first Mario Kart to feature this was on the 3DS?
It was the first Super Mario game to use the network, yes.
Holy
No way.
shit. That's
great.
None of the other
epic.
Mario games use the online networking capabilities of the
Wow.
Nintendo
No
network.
way.
Wow. Impressive. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
that
no,
was
you're
a
good.
very
That's part of the fun.
incredible fact. It's been strange for the yeah.
That's so you could create custom communities and you could do that everywhere else. This was available to play online up until April of this year. The Nintendo network didn't go down until April of this year. And this game came out in 2011, 2012, depending on where you lived.
Wow.
So it lasted a
that's-
dozen years.
About to say 10, 12 years.
Right.
Bad
This
at
is
math.
still a great Mario game. Obviously, if you have a Switch now, Mario Kart 8 is amazing as well too. But of note, this was the Mario game that introduced the hang gliding and underwater driving mechanics.
Oh,
Really?
cool.
So this is a port though, or is this no? Mario Kart 7 is on the 3DS.
Right.
It's not like also on the Wii U or anything like that, or maybe it is, and
Yeah,
just doesn't.
no,
It's different.
no. Mario Kart 7 only came out, I believe, on the Wii U they released Mario Kart 8,
That's
True.
and then they
Somehow-
released Mario Kart 8
Wow,
Deluxe for
that
the
is
Switch.
a miraculous
more
fact.
impressive.
I did not know.
Yeah.
That is, that's getting clipped. This is very interesting. Because Mario Kart, the one on the Wii is called Mario Kart Wii.
It's
Wow.
It's 8? No, oh, it's this probably ported. I'd say there's
It's just called Mario Kart Wii. That's
Mario
fucking
Kart
crazy.
8 was on the Wii U. Oh, you mean the one for the Wii?
I just mean this is in fact Mario
Right.
Kart 7. Period.
Right.
It is a 3DS game. The one on the Wii is called Mario Kart Wii. It is
Wii.
not Mario Kart 7.
Right. Oh, the one with the wheel, the one with the actual wheel you can.
Yes.
so
hold
meaning if you
want.
look at the
Wow.
That's
list of mainline Mario Kart games, it's
The
One,
like,
two,
seventh
three,
one
four.
is
Yes,
for a
it's- yeah.
3D
5.
handheld.
wow,
7.
man, that would.
And then the next one is the best one ever, and it's
Yeah.
11 years later or whatever.
Yeah,
Like it's
pretty much.
it's still the best one they have. That's how desperately they need to make a new fucking Mario Kart.
Well, it's funny you talk about. So this one also brought the ghost data, because remember you had Street Pass, Spot Pass, where you could walk by
Yes,
people, and if they had it
love
turned
that.
on, you could send it in. So I'm looking at all these, and Nintendo said they're working on a new Mario Kart, and it's going to have new features. And I'm going, we all think, what could those kinds of things be? And so I look back at the list of what they added in previous ones and go, okay, they added the hang gliders, they added the underwater, they added the Spot Pass and Street Pass. They added, it's like, okay, what things is Nintendo looking to add to a new Mario Kart that to them makes new features?
Any ideas, Raph?
Oof, no,
Maybe
no idea, yeah.
Nintendo
smell-o-vision
right now.
cars. I don't know. What else
They
can
got
we?
like Grand
Smell
Theft
the
Auto
rubber.
style shooting mechanics. I don't know. Like
Bring back the double kart racer or whatever. What was that? Double dash? Bring
Double
back
Dash,
maybe
that was
a
a great
second
game.
racer thing.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
pit crew or something, and you have to
Oh, that's
stop every
fun,
once in a
yeah.
while and do a
That's
mini game to fix
an
your
F-Zero
car.
thing. That's kind of an F-Zero thing. It was like
Yeah.
sliding off to the side. And,
But
you know.
F-Zero, you do it on the fly, like you don't
Right, yeah,
stop.
yeah.
So would you
Right,
do
you gotta
this?
pull
And would
in.
there be an area where you're like moving while pitting, so you don't really
Maybe-
lose your place?
Or is that how it works in regular racing? You watch racing, Buck. When you like, it's
watch
all about
Formula
how
One,
many
yeah.
laps you've done. So it's kind of up to you when you pit, right?
Well, in Formula One, it's up to tire degradation. There's 3 different types of tires.
You could
and so
have
it's-
like you could choose who your pit crew is, and people could be better at doing certain pit crew activities. Like Wario changes your tires faster.
We're now
and then what does it
Formula
get
One
you? It
podcast,
gets you
guys.
one free get hit in the future and don't get spun out or something, right? Like
I'm sure they'll think of something
pretty
fun.
fun. But so you could get this game digitally up until March of 2023, and now you gotta own a physical if you want to play it on your
Yo.
3DS.
You have Retro Game Treasure has a separate kart racing subcategory to select. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have racing as a sub-genre, and then
Mhm.
there's all those other extra questions you can answer to go towards the fun racing versus like Project Gotham or something else. Also fun, but different kind of racing.
So if you go to www.retrogametreasure.com, make your subscription, you would go to your personal profile settings and select Kart Racer and 3DS, and then every month there could be a chance where you could get the 7th installment of Mario Kart that is only on the 3DS. Miraculous. Awesome. That's a really good one, Buck. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take a quick break and go into the future as we discuss what games of 2025 we are excited for. We will be right back. Okay, dudes. I don't know. I can't do Bill and Ted. We're in the future. I got
that what that
okay,
was?
dudes.
Gross.
Hell yeah.
Today, we are going to be talking about games of 2025 that we are excited for. This was a whole ass award in the Game Awards. Does anybody remember what won the most anticipated 2025 game? I don't think it was Death Stranding.
Was it GTA 6?
There was like no mention of DJ. I don't think so.
I don't think
remember
so
that
either.
being on the list though, but I don't know if it won. I actually don't remember what won that.
Me not know.
I'm bad at this. I should have known ahead of time. I'll cut this whole thing out. Anyhow, games of 2025 that we are excited about. Why don't we just do a little round robin riffing, boys, as we discuss some of the things. I'm going to just start it by saying I just want to hear all the rest of the updates about the Okami sequel. I don't care when it happens. I didn't know that I needed to be excited for this. If you listen to our last episode, we talked about me crying as I watched it. And then as I was uploading clips of Okami, I watched the ending cinematic of the game, and I wept in my chair silently with my hand over my mouth in my room as I watched the ending of Okami. And then after I was done watching it, I said, This is one of the best games ever. This is one of the best games I have ever played in my entire life. I've always felt this way, but then rewatching the ending made me be like, yep, this is not a mistake. This tattoo that I've gotten is because this game, I walked away from watching the ending like how I walk away from when we watched The Whale, Raph. Like when we watched The Whale, I was just no, I was right. Yeah. This is the best movie I've ever seen. Like this is the best RPG I've ever played. This is the best Zelda-like RPG I've ever played in my entire life. So I'm super fucking excited for any updates that I can get out of that.
Pray to our Lord Miyamoto that it doesn't suck.
No, it's going to be made with the same company. I love how the company that's working on it is Clover's Studio instead of Clover Studio now, because Clover Studio is closed, and so they developed a new studio called Clover's Studio, and they have the same director. So I'm praying that it just crossed. Man, can you imagine on the PS5 with these amazing updated graphics? Gorgeous. Oh shit, it'll look so fucking good, dude.
You know, I'm just gonna say this, and it's gonna upset you, but that's okay. It's gonna, if they're announcing it this early and they're taking their time, both good things. This may be a PlayStation 6 game.
I was going to say, I just heard something.
I could totally see that.
PS6 being talked about.
Remember, we're already past the halfway point of the PS5's life. We only have about 3.5 years tops before they announced another console. I know that seems like I'm way too far in the future, but
I'm honestly just, hype for any updates I can get.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
One that I know you're excited for, Buck, is that I want to talk about a little bit because I don't know how much you know about it, is that fucking Like a Dragon pirate game.
Oh, gosh.
What is good with that?
Yeah.
So
dude?
There's a couple of really great things here, because the number one thing is right after it comes out, me and Venny and some of our other friends are going to be on vacation in Japan.
Fuck yeah. You're going to be playing it over there, yeah?
Right before those both come out, that pirate and, which I also want to talk about, Monster Hunter Wilds, both come out like 3 weeks before we go to Japan next year.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. Why is it a pirate? Why you play as you don't play as the normal people, right? You play as tell me about the game.
There's a joke about Goro Majima, the character in this one, who hasn't been a protagonist since Yakuza 0, when you played as him and Kazuma when they were younger. It's a prequel game.
Right.
And so there hasn't really been one where it's just Majima, who is one of Kazuma's old buddies / rivals / buddies, that kind of thing, and it's macho men and Yakuza men kind of thing. And so this is the first one where it's him. So in normal RGG studio fashion, they finally created a new map, Hawaii, which, like when they added Yokohama to some of the other Yakuza games, when you got a new location, when they create a new location, air quotes for the kids not on YouTube, they put a lot of effort into it, but then they milk the fuck out of it for like 4 games.
Is this one gonna be in Hawaii?
Yes. Majima.
Whoa.
Majima, if you didn't play Infinite Wealth, he does make a cameo in that game. And this is him. It ties directly into Infinite Wealth in some ways. He's in Hawaii. He washes up on a beach with amnesia and decides to be a pirate.
Hell yeah. I love that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't know this. So hold on. So it's not actually set in pirate times. It's just
No,
like they're gonna
it's
pull an
modern
Infinite
day.
Wealth where
Yes,
it's just
correct.
him imagining stuff.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Well, a
I
little bit-
love
not-
these guys.
Not necessarily imagining stuff, only a little bit. See, he is actually, from what they've shown in that, it's about how, like, they talk about like Somali pirates and shit off of the coast of these places.
Right,
Sure, yeah.
There are like
Pirates still
actually
exist today,
other
right?
pirates in that area
Oh,
off of there.
okay.
And there's a whole thing that ties into like this cult that shows up literally in
Cult?
Infinite Wealth.
What?
Shit, what the
And
fuck?
they have an island and they probably have pirates. And so they're probably some of the people that he fights against too. But you actually,
see.
it's going to go full Black Flag with pirate ship mechanics and
Cool.
shit, fighting on the belly of your ship. And
I love that I don't even have to play these games to enjoy them. Like I just,
Exactly.
as someone explains the premise to me, and I'm like, that was fun just listening to you explain that. I
Right.
don't even have to play it to be like, that's amazing.
And
I
These
mean,
it's a
are
dude,
beat
when
'em
you
up
guys
games.
told me that you befriend a lobster in that game, I lost my mind.
crawfish. Nancy the crawfish.
That's
right.
amazing. You
Who
befriend
becomes a
lobster.
recurring character.
That's
Um,
amazing. I
You know
love
he's
that.
going to be
Like,
in this
come on.
one.
Hell
What the
yeah.
fuck?
Probably, yeah. Ichiban is in it. So it looks like, so it's a beat 'em up style, like a more traditional Yakuza
Oh,
game.
okay.
Oh.
And it looks like you can get other party team members to join you in the fights. And Ichiban, the
Hmm.
character from Infinite Wealth, is one of them. They've shown already as like a pre-order bonus. You can get him early or something in your party.
So
to help you
legit,
out.
like Black
Or like a
Flag,
summon.
like having like a crew, like that's
Or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
That's
too.
awesome.
But with the beat 'em up style. But it
It's
goes
interesting
full
they're going
pirate.
back to the beat 'em up. Weren't they trying to like separate the two genres of
They
like, RPG
decided-
ones were going to be this one and then
What they announced and decided, and I think they're sticking to, I don't know, is that the mainline titles will now be turn-based and all the offshoots will be the beat 'em up style rather than originally it seemed like it was going to be the other way around. Like the original
Right.
Infinite Dragon was more of a litmus test if people liked this,
Mhm.
right.
and we didn't even know if we'd do it again. And then they still made the Judgment games, which were spin-offs and beat 'em up styles.
Right.
But now I think they've switched the main line to that, and then this is like a side story, a sub story kind of one, like they did in between the two Infinite Dragon with Ichiban. They made the man who erased his name.
Like a dragon.
Yeah,
Not
sorry.
Infinite Dragon. Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
They made the man who erased his name, which was Kazuma Kiryu, like
Beat 'em up,
like
right?
middle story, and it was more traditional beat 'em up style in between. So
That shit's
we'll
gonna,
see. Who knows? They could change their mind tomorrow. I don't care.
yeah, it looks fucking hype as fuck.
I'm here for it. It's fine.
The Monster Hunter Wild, speaking of which you mentioned, that
Dude,
also looks beautiful.
If you don't play this with us, I'm gonna come over to your house and beat you up, dude.
I mean, I
just
haven't
looks so-
seen much about it, so I don't know any of the major changes they've done. I think there's like new types of weapons they've added, or
So I don't think they've announced any new ones, but I played the first beta that they had, where you could just do a couple hunts and try it. Number one, it is fucking gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I don't even know if it's still based on the last Monster Hunter was based on the RE engine.
Right, yeah.
right, the
frickin'
Capcom in-house thing. But now this is
gorgeous.
Unreal 5 or
I don't
or
know, but
whatever.
it's gorgeous.
It looks.
And
Whoa.
They just every quality of life thing that they did between Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World, they just amalgamated all of them. The fast travel, the zip lining stuff, all
Mhm.
that. And then they did one further, and now you select 2 weapons when you go out into the wild, and you can swap
Whoa.
between them on the fly. So if
I
you
did
want to
not
take
know that.
the hunting
That's
horn
fucking
and the
cool.
bow and arrow, then you can
Right.
swap.
You could
between
take the
them.
light gun and the heavy gun and be like, I'm the gunner. I got
And it's
both
like,
bases
that's
covered.
So effing
Dude,
cool.
I didn't know that. That's fucking awesome.
Dude, I'm so excited for this game.
I on my Steam the Steam Wrapped at the end of the year. I didn't
damn,
realize
this year,
how
shit.
many hours of Monster Hunter Rise I played, but I played like 40 hours of that game. And I was
Gosh,
like,
and we
I did
hardly
have
got to
fun
play
with it.
together, and that's what's some of the most fun of that.
Yeah,
We
it
had
was
a
good-ass
crew
game.
Damn, I gotta
early at
reinstall
this
that.
year or late the previous year, then we just played the crap. We would get on almost every other
I
night.
love the
and
guns
do
in
some
that
hunting.
game. So
I think
fucking
did I
It's
get
so
to
much
play
fun
that
in a
with you,
group.
Mac, at least once? I think.
I think
when
that just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A little
I think
bit
I'm gonna
different
reinstall that
level
game, 'cause that was
discrepancy.
fun.
It is so much fun with a group of people, with 2 or 3 people to do it. It's
Right.
just so much fun. It's almost like, this is gonna sound silly, but it's almost like Hunt, but
Yeah.
instead of guns, it's slightly more medieval weaponry in its style, but it's the same
crazy anime fantasy.
kind of yeah, but it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same kind of fun with your friends. Stories happen and whatnot. Like, did you see me blow that thing's arm off or whatever?
Speaking of Monster Hunter, let's talk about some things that I didn't realize and got wrong about my explanation of the new fucking Elden Ring Night Rain.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well,
first
that's
of
on my
all,
list of. That's
it
on my
is.
list.
Yeah,
Elden
I'm about to
Ring
say.
Monster
I
Hunter.
figured you'd want to talk about this, Raph. First of all, it is a standalone game. It's
Okay.
definitely not DLC.
No
I don't
I never
ever
had
way.
announced that.
It is a multiplayer roguelike
Okay.
boss rush game.
Okay.
Okay.
So you and it's either this is strange, but it's either solo or 3 people go
I mean, that makes
into
sense. Yeah.
go into a chunk of Elden Ring that is roped off by a fucking circle like a battle royale game.
Right.
And then you and your friends rush around to kill NPCs and find items and yada 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 as the circle slowly shrinks on you. And when it gets to its smallest size, a boss appears,
Oh,
and then you
cool.
and your friends got to fuck it up.
That's fun. That's
love it.
cool.
And
I'm in.
one thing that people noted from watching the trailer is that there are bosses from other FromSoft games
Cool.
in this.
Oh shit.
There are
Oh,
bosses
man.
from Dark Souls
Are we
that are
fighting,
in the fucking boss rush
I want a
mode, dude.
robot from
Ornstein and,
Armored Core then.
Yeah, that would be fucking tight.
Fucking mech shows
That would be
up.
really tight. The full
awesome.
FromSoft multiverse. You got to fight the fucking monkey from what's it called? The ninja one where that cuts his own head off.
Sekiro or whatever.
Sekiro,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Sekiro monkey that
I
cuts
say
his own head off.
I love those games, but they're so hard that I just don't feel like I have the patience for them anymore. But I would play that with friends in a multiplayer
dude.
setting.
Right. That's such
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah.
short little thing. You know, it's like get together with some friends, kill some bosses, some hard ass bosses. That sounds
Some
fun.
big needing a lot of collaborative effort because I
Yeah.
mean the combat in those FromSoft games is fun. It's just
Yeah.
overwhelming because you got to do it for so long.
Of course, yeah.
And it's just like some
Right.
of it is just, and you're mostly doing it by yourself. Even if you summon somebody to
Yeah.
help you, or in Elden Ring you have your little
Yeah.
spirits or whatever, it's still like
It's always a battle
it's
of
hard.
attrition.
It's hard.
Yeah. And it
But
punishes
this
you for
one
your
is like
mistakes.
people know, like when it seems to where if you defeat the boss and any of your friends died before you move on to the next area, your friends get up and you all go to the next round together. Because they showed in the trailer like people dying and then getting back up once their friends slayed the boss. So
That's cool.
it's a roguelike game, and I was like, whoa, wow! I'm gonna get this for sure. I didn't buy the DLC that came out this year because I couldn't get to it because I haven't defeated the bosses anyhow. I haven't beaten Elden Ring. It's too big. It's
Same
too
here,
fucking
yeah,
big,
yeah.
dude. But I will definitely get this, and Raph, I think we should fucking
No, hell
have a
yeah,
go at
dude.
this shit.
That's a plan. I'm excited
Yeah.
about it.
Do they have a
yeah.
date on that? Do we have a release date on that?
I didn't find one.
Just
but
don't
it said
say,
it was
like,
coming out
March.
2025.
Yeah, I think actually, I think it might be later on in the year.
Okay,
I want to
good.
say somewhere in the
March
middle
is
to
when
later in the
Monster
year.
Hunter
Yeah.
and the Pirate Yakuza
Yeah.
game come, or end of February, whatever.
Raph, you hyped for Metal Gear Solid Delta?
I was about to mention that actually. That is on my list. I got about 10 items on my list right here, and that is pretty chief amongst them. I'm definitely excited about this.
Did
game,
you watch
honestly.
the voice actor's interview for Delta?
No.
Dude, I watched it. I don't remember the name of the gal that does the other female voice actor, but they had David Hayter and fucking Ariel, the Little Mermaid, Jodie Benson in a room together at the same time. Because now that it's like common knowledge that she was Ava's character and she's not
Right.
worried about Disney anymore. If you guys didn't
Oh, I
know,
didn't
it got
know
released
that.
earlier this year that Jodie Benson, who did the voice of Belle and Ariel, was actually Ava
No
in the
way.
third Metal Gear Solid
The
game.
blonde-haired bombshell.
But she was
character.
Yeah.
under a pseudonym because she didn't want to get in trouble with Disney for
makes
doing a
sense.
matured video game, and she's
Yeah.
a Disney princess technically. So,
Yeah, she's
so it was
literally-
really cool to see
yeah.
her and David Hayter in the room and them talking about revisiting the characters. Because the reason why they did that is because they added new voice lines to the game. They had them re-record or record new
I'm
voice
so
lines.
excited for this, dude. It's
Speaking of
it's my
voice
favorite Metal
lines
Gear
that are
Solid
inspired by
game.
Hideo Kojima, who's ready for Death Stranding 2 surfs up. Death Stranding 2 Hang 10.
On the beach. Yeah.
Death Stranding
Oh, that's
2.
what it's called. I'm like, doesn't it have
on-
a
it's
stupid
called
name?
On the
yeah,
Beach.
yeah.
You ready for some crazy Puppet Man bullshit?
Man, I gotta finish the first one. You know what? I should add that to my. That's a spoiler, but I should add that to my resolutions.
Finishing Death Stranding 1.
Yeah, right.
You know what I found out recently? I think I shared this with Raph, but or no, I shared this with Buck. I was recently fucking with my smart TV and my Amazon Prime account.
Yeah, you
And
told me.
if
about
you
this,
have
yeah.
Amazon Prime, you get video games for free, some of them. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can just fucking cloud play Death Stranding Director's Cut for free.
No shit. That's
Yep.
amazing.
You just
Wow.
Bluetooth link a controller to your smart TV or whatever you're playing it through. And you could just play. I was like, I spent like $35 on this fucking game, and I played it for like 10 hours, and then I didn't even come close to fuck. God damn it. We got time for a couple
That's
more
funny.
games here. Buck, I did want to mention that Ninja Gaiden Ragebound game.
The retro one, yeah.
I don't know if we acknowledged this before, but first of all, I found out you're playing as a new character. You're playing as a guy named Kenji Motu, because apparently Hayabusa can't be bothered today. And I also didn't realize, I didn't catch the text that this game is going to be made by the Blasphemous people.
Yes, I did see that. Yes. Yeah.
And that's why it looks so incredible.
Yes. And that's why it will be so effing hard.
And I didn't when I was going through it, I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that when Buck pulled Ninja Gaiden 2 as a retro zone like a month ago, we were like, how cool would it be if someone made a new Ninja Gaiden? Well, they made
my god!
Because we were like,
we
were talking about because I literally said there's a bunch of new indie games that are basically Ninja Gaiden likes. I would love if they made a new Ninja Gaiden game.
We did it,
and then they made.
And we didn't realize we did it.
You know, I'm loving all these new, like that new Double Dragon game, Revive. I think is set to come out next year as well. So that's super exciting.
Oh, is that not out yet? I think they just made. They keep. Double Dragon's a little weird because I think they've remade it like 3 times now.
Right, there's another Double Dragon, and then I think that there's another remake that's. I don't know. There's so much new shit coming out next year. So how about something that's not necessarily a game, but very much gaming related, that's coming to Florida next year? Super Nintendo World is set to open up in Florida next year.
Oh my!
You guys excited about that shit,
dude? I didn't even realize that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm gonna shell out cash to go to that.
Figure
shit.
it out. We're gonna go to a theme
on
park.
anything because everybody's gonna be there.
Are we IRL streamers now?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like stream.
I know somebody that does
Super Mario World.
Let's fucking go.
Fun.
That's a good one.
How about a new Virtua Fighter?
Yes, I have that on my list.
I don't know.
Too.
Is that slated to come out next year? Did you see that or not?
I found it on the list. Okay. I found it on.
You know what is coming out though, which is already in beta, is that HD port that they've done of Virtua Fighter 5 with
Street
the
Fighter 2,
rollback.
with the rollback netcode.
It's got rollback netcode and like up-res graphics. So they're like, here's just chew on this while you're waiting for the new one.
We just talked about that because that game came out.
I'm going to talk about that heavily later. You'll see.
That game came out in 2006.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's a new Switch that's slated to come out next year too. That's the thing that I'm really excited about because I fucking love my Switch.
And it's supposed to be by holidays next year. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
So is it going to be an upgraded or is it going to be a whole new thing?
It's a new console. To my understanding, the stuff that I've seen about like the designs, so like the people that design like cases, I guess, for these things have kind of like leaked some of the specs about it, and it looks like it's going to be similar in design to the Switch, but just a bigger screen. And probably more powerful, I would imagine. So I have no idea, but I'm so excited about it because
I feel like the Steam Deck has basically said it's okay, you can make it bigger.
Yeah,
and then they're like, okay, we can. Okay, we'll make it bigger.
Yeah, people don't care that it's a
Sorry
little
about
bit
that.
heavier, but you're right, a little bit heavier and thicker than I agree. So which means Steam Deck has shown Nintendo you can also squeeze a little more processing power in there, and it's okay.
Right.
Exactly. We're not going to get upset.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like a Switch with like the processing power of like a PS4? That'd be great. You know,
Steam Deck is.
Actually, that'd be pretty nice.
Exactly. That'd be dope.
None of us really care about Grand Theft Auto 6, do we?
No,
I'm not going to buy it.
I never really played 5.
I'm neither. I
tried.
I will say that I'm also excited about one more thing that's coming out next year. I don't know.
Let's do one more thing each.
Okay. One more thing each. All right, Doom Dark Ages. I'm so excited.
I figured you'd be excited
Doom
for that.
Game.
I forgot about that.
I'm so excited to play a new Doom game. That's so cool.
Another medieval-based one with swords and shit.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have not. I didn't get hooked by those. I don't know. I guess I'm just not really a boomer shooter person. For some reason.
Yeah. They're a little different. The new Dooms are so different because they're
what I was
just
gonna say.
I don't know. There's something about the momentum of them. You know, like
it was on Game Pass. They're all on Game Pass because they're Bethesda. Those new ones. I played the Doom 2016, and I got in a room where I had killed everybody, and then I couldn't find the key, so I was just like running around to for like 10 minutes just with nothing actually happening. I was like, I think I'm done. Buck, what else have you got on your list? Anything?
There's a handful of indie titles that have kind of stroked across the desk. Neon Inferno.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
If you guys ever played or heard of or have seen Wild Guns, which was a very popular, expensive Super Nintendo game that got re-released a few years ago for the Switch and online. This is like Cyberpunk and Wild Guns had a baby, and it looks really neat.
Well, you fight Judge Dredd and shit. Like
sure,
seeing enemies that's got like a huge pauldron. He looks like a Space Marine or something.
And you ride Kaneda's bike from Akira.
Oh yeah, you do. Whoa, this is cool. It's like a
Looks neat.
side-scrolling shooter beat 'em up thing.
That's
Cool as
the
fuck.
way that Wild Guns kind of plays. You only, I mean, in this one it's got a little bit of Contra too, but in Wild Guns you're only shooting at enemies that are on a plane behind you. Like you're only shooting forward at them, and you can roll to left and roll to the right to dodge, kind of like a shmup. But you're only shooting at people. There's a UFO 50 game that has this mechanic.
Excellent. Sneak peek for later. My last one that I'm gonna list is fucking Mecha Break.
Oh my God, I
was
forgot.
hoping
Thank you
somebody
so
would
much.
Yep,
mention
I knew
this.
you forgot. There was a
Thank you so
little
much.
commercial
That's on my
during the
list.
Game Awards, and it made me also go, "Oh shit, I forgot! I gotta be excited for this game." Fuck.
Forgot. If I move all of my windows right now, all of us on screen, and my notes and my Steam with Neon Inferno open, my desktop has been Mecha Break for the last 2 months.
If you haven't seen Mecha Break, listener / watcher out there, it is a multiplayer game, like a versus multiplayer game. Is there PvE in it at all?
There is now. They added a mode that's
right.
PvPvE.
And it is the FromSoft game we mentioned earlier.
Armored Core.
It's like
Armored Core, Shadows of Rubicon, or whatever. It's basically
Armored
that,
Core.
but slightly slower and multiplayer based, and it
so
fucking
good.
looks
There
like
was a beta.
the Gundam game that never has been, because
There was a
Gundam
beta,
tried to
like,
make that Overwatch game, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
my
it wasn't
cup of tea.
Gundam Watch. Yeah, it was like 6 months ago, this beta, and me and our friend Short Bus for like 2-3 weeks straight, they had this beta, and we played it every night. For there was like, this game is so freaking great, and it's like, when is it gonna come out? When are they gonna do this? Da, da, da. And then it just went completely silent. I'm like,
Literally,
what the
the
fuck? Where's
day I
game?
went to go play it, Buck was like, "Oh yeah, it went off
damn.
yesterday," and I was like, "Oh man."
That sucks.
So good. But I've never seen a game. I mean, it's good if they're taking their time, but I've never seen a game that had that stable of an online play environment ready to go, and yet it's not. It'll be 9 months now by the time it comes out, between that and when it comes out. So I mean,
Wow.
Okay.
Ooh, so it'll be even better. Yeah, they added, like, I can't even remember all the modes. There was like you said, the PvPvE. I think there was like a more like a bigger map that could fit more people on it. They said.
a couple of the mechs can, a la like Gundam wing stuff, like they can turn into
Transform.
jets, like
Yeah.
and
Like,
then
imagine a full battlefield of mechs, all controlled by players. That's
I think there was a
so
battle royale
fucking
mode teased
cool.
as well, if I remember correctly. It was.
they teased it, but I
They
didn't
teased
see it
a
in the
bunch of
list.
new stuff, and it was like, oh man, cool. If I needed more reason to zip
know.
around as a fucking Gundam, basically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The problem now becomes there's too many good live service games that I enjoy to, like, I don't have time for Hunt and
Yeah.
DBD
Right.
and Mecha Break and other regular games.
Yeah.
Buck, I'm surprised you didn't mention Tenebris Somnia, because I'm excited for that one.
Does it have a
one is
release
that?
date yet?
It is coming out next year. I saw it is a little late next year. I want to say it's like no, not late. It's like in March, but
It just keeps getting pushed back.
yeah. That's the horror game by New Blood, I believe.
Yeah,
New Blood Interactive.
We talked about it. The one that
it's the
switches
same people
between
that made
like
Faith.
16-bit graphics and FMV.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that shit looks cool. Oh yeah.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
It looks so scary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of
I'm
the
excited
many indies.
for
A lot of
next
Slay the
year.
Spire 2 also got a fucking.
Slay the Spire 2, Rift of the Neverdancer.
that
Sequel,
got
one
a
of the
so
best
many
games.
That got a
of
game
all
award.
time.
I
One
know.
of the
Every
best
time someone
roguelikes.
says this year's going to be better, no,
Yeah.
next year's going to suck. This year was better. It's like, no, games. There's always games like It Takes Two and Balatro and stuff like that show up to be like, it can be indie. It can
There's
be
a sequel
AAA.
to It Takes, or not a
good.
sequel, but a new game from the It Takes Two guys that's
Yeah,
also
right.
got teased. That one where you play as the what's cross fiction or whatever it's called, twin fiction, something like
Oh
this.
yeah, the one where
yeah.
the screen was like split and it was
Yeah,
like
you play
light
as
and
like the
dark or
two
whatever.
writers that get sucked into the metaverse essentially.
Like,
And
neat.
it had that clip where it was just like you're playing as a hot dog or something at one point, and it's just like,
Oh,
what the
yeah.
fuck? It looks fun.
The
I
only-
don't know.
The only thing that's a bummer for
On a
me on
grill,
those is
right.
like
Yeah.
sometimes when they get a little too out there with new inventive mechanics, sometimes they knock it out of the park, like with
Mhm.
It Takes Two,
Yeah.
and sometimes it falls flat on its face because it just isn't like it was a good idea. You really should have, like, 2 months into testing it, you would have realized this is not fun.
Yeah, right,
And
yeah,
tried
yeah.
some. We based the whole game around this mechanic. Well, time
That's
to go back
fucked
to the
up.
drawing board.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that is plenty for today to talk about the 2025s. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some resolutions that we may
Okay.
or may not have upheld. We'll be right back.
Let me tell you this. Get ready for a ride.
Okay, boys, let's talk last year's gaming resolutions and how we did. I went back to the second episode, pulled our resolutions. We're going to talk
Dope.
about them right now.
What are you, my life coach?
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Because I also am a failure. My gaming resolution from last year, I was very excited and really thought that I could do this. If you go back and check the tape, I was pretty enthusiastic. My resolution was to get into Fortnite. And I didn't do that at all.
I remember making fun of you
I
for
remember
that.
you tried too. You tried.
I tried.
You tried.
I tried so fucking
So
hard. And I didn't have anybody to play with. So I just kept playing solo, and it was just I couldn't do it. Ironically, just within the past couple weeks, I bought into and this is an Xbox marketing, and I purchased a new Roku 4K Fire Stick because it has the capacity to download on it, because it's a little flash drive as well, Game Pass app.
Cool.
So if you download it and plug it into your TV or whatever, you can get cloud gaming on your TV without an Xbox needing to be in your room.
This is an Xbox.
And you can just link your Bluetooth controllers right up to the Roku TV. And so now I have Xbox in my room, even though I don't have an Xbox in my room. And I did that because my friend and his girlfriend recently started playing Fortnite. So I convinced my girlfriend to start playing Fortnite with me. So I almost, at the very end of the year, almost got into Fortnite at the very end, because
real close.
we played like 3 or 4 rounds. I'm pretty sure they put you against bots for your first like 3 or 4 rounds, because we got 3 victories in a row. We just fucking aced
so
that
good.
shit. And then we went and played the Lego Fortnite, which I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, they released Lego Fortnite this year, and that's fun. It's a survival game, a crafting game. Funny enough, my girlfriend cannot play Minecraft because the first-person perspective makes her sick to her stomach.
I could see that.
So it was a game where I was like, I really want to play Minecraft with you. And she's like, I can't. It literally makes me want to throw up. Well, congrats. Lego Fortnite is just third-person Minecraft where you play as Lego pieces.
I was going to say, I bet you, too, if you play it on Steam or wherever else you can get it, there's probably a mod where you can make it third person.
Oh yeah,
on Minecraft. I'm sure
wherever you can get.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's not going to cram in my computer room with me. But yeah, they just added split screen multiplayer. That's kind of a clutch thing for me to mention as well for Fortnite this year. So now we just on the same screen, on the top, she's the bottom, whatever. And she
whoa.
Yeah. And it was cute as fuck. She just like, I never played a first-person shooter game. And I was like, I don't have the heart to tell her this is a third-person shooter game.
Right.
And
You're
she was like,
not.
I don't really do games where I kill people, but she certainly did kill people. So I was like, way to go, babe. There was a couple where she saved my goat. What do people say? She saved me. And it was cool. So hopefully, now we can sit in bed and fucking play Fortnite. Or I also was like, we should dip back into fucking Stardew Valley.
Don't do it.
Because the new update hit the console. So that's pretty exciting.
Right.
But yeah, that was my resolution. I failed. I'm sorry. But I will go ahead and make my resolution for next year now, while we're talking about it. Next year, I want to crush a game that I absolutely fell in love with this year. I want to beat senselessly the game that I gave Indie Game of the Year. I want to get all of the gold cases in UFO 50 this year.
Nice.
I'm going to fucking destroy that game. I'm
Hell
going to make
yeah.
it my life's mission to destroy that game, because we're also producing our first Patreon content this year. Hopefully in January 1st, we will have our very first Patreon episode where we're going to be going line by line over all the UFO 50 games. I absolutely love this game. Me and Raph recently discovered that you can share play it on Steam, so that if you have someone that know that has Steam that doesn't have UFO 50, you can still play it with them, and you can play the 2-player games over the internet.
I played with a friend of mine that lives in New York. I played the multiplayer, UFO 50 games. We played, what was it, Seaside Drive? Is that the name of the game, right?
That's a great
I
game.
already read cased that game.
Yeah, we were playing that one while they were living in New York, and I'm here in Florida. It was amazing.
So I need your help with Ninpec, Raph.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
We'll get on that. That's on the first row. We'll gold that shit. This is one I think I will complete. I think I will destroy this game. Buck,
Yeah.
Last year, your gaming resolution was to work on your backlog. How'd that go?
Oops.
Still got 1,000 Switch games that you haven't played. I'm assuming.
Okay. In my defense, in my defense, I did
Never
a
a
very
good
good
sentence to
job
start
of
off with.
not adding to my backlog because a lot of the games I bought this year, I either played really extensively or I beat.
Good.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Well, at least there's that.
Pseudo kind of.
We'll
You
call
didn't- you
that
didn't
a
add to the
partial
deficit.
completion.
Yeah, I didn't dig the hole any deeper. How about
There
that?
you go.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, what are you thinking for next year?
This ties into my what else you got for today in a little bit here, but I'm thinking for mine, I realized that one of my favorite genres that still gets games made for it, believe it or not, is FMV games.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I haven't been keeping a close enough eye on all of them, like Raph just said with Tenebris Somnia, which has
Right.
definitely got some FMV stuff in it as well too. I am going to try to beat an FMV game every month next year.
Ooh,
Every
Oh,
month I'm gonna
shit.
beat an FMV game because I'm looking at my
good
Steam
stream
list.
fodder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Those. Yeah.
I'm looking at my Steam list. I have a separate category of FMV games. There are 32 games in it
Holy cow.
that I own, and I'm counting at least half of them I've never even played, even though I own. Some of them are really old ones, like Phantasmagoria and stuff that I've played a long time. But
Mhm.
I don't think I ever beat Phantasmagoria 2, so that might not be a bad idea. But there's quite a few in here that I never beat, I never bought, I never played, such as Toonstruck. Anybody? Toonstruck?
No
Don't know
idea.
that one.
How about an FMV game starring Christopher Lloyd?
Great Scott.
It's from like 1995
Yeah,
or
that's
something
cool.
like that. But I have a bunch of games like that in there too. And I have some of those newer ones from Wales Interactive that I just never, I bought packs of them and I never beat and whatnot. And I saw a new one just came out like a month or two ago that looks
Ah.
really good. So
Well, that's a good one. Just keep track. And then that way
Damn
you
it.
can tell us how many out of your list you completed by the end of the year.
Buck, you should. I would love it if you maybe send me some recommendations for FMV games because it's a genre that I don't have. I have maybe like 5 in my Steam list, and I'd
Yeah.
love to get into some FMV games. That sounds.
they
fun.
really run the gamut. Like what's that one
Yeah.
what's the one that you played on stream a couple weeks ago that I actually haven't played, but
Dead of Night. Or
yes,
something like
the one
that?
where you're in the
Yeah.
hotel and you kind of do it, which is
Oh,
a
yeah,
really
that one's
cool game. I
scary.
need to play for myself sometime. They run the gamut all the way from like that to puzzly, like Seventh Guest 11 Hour, to one that I played earlier this year called Bloodshore. That was basically Battle Royale, the FMV game. Like you
Oh,
get dumped
interesting.
onto an island, and I think I might have covered it in my what else you got like early on in the year, but like you dumped into an island, you make a bunch of decisions, and with a lot of FMV games, you have to play through them. You probably play through it in like an hour, 2 hours, and so the fun is to play through it a second or third time and make different decisions and get to see different trees of those that you do. Like that one that me and Venny played, Death Come True. If you don't go down this tree, you miss a character altogether. Like
Oh,
you don't
wow.
even interact with a particular NPC that becomes like your companion. So some of those are really great.
Sick.
Nice.
That yeah.
Raph, last year,
Mm-hmm.
your gaming resolution was quite awesome. Your gaming resolution was to complete all of the mainline Resident Evil games.
I
How did
failed,
you do?
buddy. I failed. I got to
I failed.
failed.
Squirrel!
Yeah, no, I got to 5, and I was actually playing it with a friend online, and I don't know, we just kept on having trouble with it, so like I ended up never coming back to it. I did start streaming Resident Evil 7 recently, which I still have to get back to, but I've been so distracted by every other game that I've been streaming. I've turned like my Sunday night streams or Sunday like afternoon streams into kind of like an indie showcase. Like I just kind of show off like random indie games that people might not have heard of.
Mhm.
But I want to get back to Resident Evil 7. I unfortunately did fail at that, but I am going to kind of play them at my leisure, you know?
Did you have you beat 7 before, or was that
I
like your
haven't.
first
No.
playthrough?
This is my first time playing
okay.
through 7. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm playing it through now, and it's kind of my first time getting through it, and I'm real excited to do that.
I love that one.
But this year, I actually have like 3.5 resolutions.
Okay.
What are you, a TV?
there's- What's up? Yes.
What are you, a
there's-
TV?
3.5 resolution.
3.5. Yeah. There's a couple of games that I want to beat this year that I started like one of them started like a year or two ago. But I never beat Persona 5 Royal. And I want
Good luck.
Yeah, I want to get back
Are you
to
sure
it.
you want to set a couple more? Are you sure you don't want to? That's going to take the whole fucking year.
Can
I'm
we
like,
define
60
beat?
hours
Yeah.
into this game, all right, and I'm roughly halfway through, I want to say, because it's like 100 and
Yeah,
something hours or something
That's
like that.
about
Yeah.
right.
I want to try to beat this before the end of the year. The other one that I'm setting myself up for failure because I started playing Like a Dragon, and I want to also try to beat Like a Dragon because I
love
really
that
want to
game
get
so
into
much.
this series.
Please do.
Yeah,
Please.
Yeah, if I don't
started-
finish 5, I will for sure try to beat Like a Dragon.
You started playing Yakuza 6, the first Like a Dragon game?
The
first
first
Ichiban
one. Yeah,
game?
the first Like a Dragon one. Yeah, that's the one that I
Love that
started playing recently, and I haven't really dipped my toes too deeply
I
into
love
it
that
yet.
game so much.
So my other like 2 resolutions here are if you guys have been watching the podcast or you know me personally, I've really kind of rekindled a love of fighting games recently. And I got really into Street Fighter 6, and I would love to get like maybe 5 characters up to master rank in that game. That'd be fantastic.
Ooh,
Yeah, I want to try to at least get like 5 of them up there. You know, there's people that play through it and they get like almost all of them or just one character. I'm kind of a Cammy main right now. And I would love to get her at least up to master rank, but I'd love to get a couple of other characters up to master rank. The other thing I would love to do is that if I get good enough at this game, I would like to maybe this year try to participate maybe in a local tournament or something like that. You know, at least just
Wow.
try it
There's
out.
lots
you know,
of locals.
that'd be
There
fun.
are.
You know,
We have lots in Orlando.
Arcade Monsters in iDrive has
yeah,
tournaments
I've
frequently,
been
like
doing
every
a little
week.
bit of research, and there's a couple of different little clubs and organizations here and there that hold tournaments in Orlando. So I would love to maybe participate in one. I'd probably fail miserably, but hey,
I'm about
you
to
know
say,
what? I'm gonna get
from
my
my
ass kicked.
experience, I think you will just get absolutely stomped.
I
But
will
yeah,
absolutely get demolished, but you know
Yeah.
what? It sounds like fun anyway, and it'll help me get better at the game because
Yeah.
I have been kind of playing it religiously. So yeah,
Hell
those are my resolutions.
All right, write it down and keep track. I do have Mr. Venacors as well. He's unable to be here today. However,
His move is almost done. He's gonna be
Yes.
in and moved and oh boy.
his resolutions were to play all the way through Final Fantasy VII, the rebirth or remake, whatever, and Metaphor, which he said he was not able to do. But he also said he wanted to hit double rank 1 in Dead by Daylight, whatever that means. He was not able to do that either, unfortunately, but he did say that was because he was able to achieve some other prestige level in Hunt and some other
Yes.
ridiculous feat that he
He's
did.
at like prestige 20 in Hunt.
Yeah.
He just got it this past week. Double rank 1 in Dead by Daylight is when you get to both iridescent rank 1 as Survivor and Killer within the same 1 month period. You have from the
Oh.
13th to the 13th of the month to get your rank high enough, which is from winning matches. It's a little easier now because I don't think you go down when you lose, but you have to play as both Survivor and Killer side a lot.
And then Mr. Venacor's 2025 resolution was to hit 2,025 followers on his Twitch channel. So, like Buck just said, his streams are going to be starting up again, hopefully within the next month. Fingers crossed in his
First of the
new
year was his
layout.
target.
Yeah. So yeah, go check him out, Mr. Venacor on Twitch. Was it MrVenacor.ttv or something?
Yeah.
And I think that's right. And then he also wanted me to remind everyone about his Discord, the Meme Machine. So I'll put a link to that in the description of this here episode. He said anyone who listens to the show is welcome to hop on in. You can watch his streams through there and everything and participate with his pretty nice community that he's got there. He's got just like almost 200 people inside of there or something like this.
It's a pretty active too.
It's
and
nice. They're fun.
There's
Yeah.
grouping based on what games you play as well too. Whether you play Marvel Rivals or Hunt or
Baldur's
Monster
Gate
Hunter,
has a channel in there.
Yep.
And
Final Fantasy 14, all those.
well, cool, gentlemen. Hey, listen, that was our 2025 resolutions. Let's try to stick with them this year. Hey, yeah, right. All right, let's do a little bit better of a job. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get to our what else you got, and then we will go ahead and wrap up our show. We will be right back. Okay, it's our what else you got, where we can bring to the table anything, be it video game or otherwise. This week, I have just a couple small things I wanted to promote. Caitlin Barrios, my very good improv friend, has dropped a new video with me in it. So if you YouTube Caitlin Barrios or Caitlin is Spooky, you'll see her channel on there doing quite well. I think she's up to 16,000 followers. The video is called Make Some Noise, and then in parentheses, Your Prompts Edition. So basically, there is she's like a YouTube reactor that specializes in critiquing improv comedy. And there's this Dropout TV, I think is the name of the YouTube channel, but they have a YouTube how do I say this? A content, a series of episodes. It's a show. There you go. It's a YouTube show called Make Some Noise, where improvisers do really short form. It's almost like one-liners that are based off of like silly suggestions. So it'll be like Batman ordering a cheeseburger in the Burger King line. You just have to really quick do it. So her fans like threw in a bunch of suggestions for us, and then she like randomly mixed them up, and she just like rapid fire hit us with them. And it's like a 38-minute long video, and it's funny as fuck, honestly. I don't normally toot my own horn. Sometimes I leave there going like, man, we did not do very good. But that time I came home and I was like, that was funny. Rewatch it. And I was like, that was funny. That was really funny. We did a good fucking job with that one. So please go check that out. And then we have some new merch designs coming. My girlfriend, who is an incredibly talented artist, has designed a new very adorable design for a t-shirt, and that should be.
Can we show it off yet?
I don't think she's emailed to me. She had to go to work just a bit ago, I believe. But like I said, by the first of the year, it will be on our online store, which you can find through our linktree /TGTP. And then also by the first, we should be uploading our first Patreon content stuff. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be going line by line through all the UFO 50 games. Buck has an incredible list of basically comparisons that he's going to be doing for all of the games. And then me and Raph are just going to be gushing about how much we either love or hate them. And by hate them, I mean, that first line of games is so hard. But yeah, that is pretty much what
you Mortal.
That's the game, Mortal. I didn't want to. Man,
we watched you play it on stream.
Holy shit, I got so frustrated. That is my what else you got? Basically, just a bunch of promotions. Buck, what else have you got for us this week?
So I have this funny habit when I make a New Year's resolution that I always just start it early, because why set a date to start it when you can just start it right now? And
Okay,
so
true.
that's why I thought of the FMV one, because I started playing an FMV game that was in my backlog. I'd hit it double.
Okay.
I started playing an amazing game, but I just never got around to it. And now I have. That is Square Enix's The Centennial Case, a Shijima story.
Oh,
What?
If you guys didn't know this,
hold on.
last year, Square Enix made an FMV Japanese detective game.
How is this?
It's fucking
I thought
awesome.
you played this already
So
for some reason.
You did? Oh.
No, I thought you played
Oh,
this.
no, I bought it a long time ago.
Okay.
But I just finally said I've been waiting I've been looking for something fun. I enjoy the fact that FMV games are both linear and they make you do things, and in this one it really makes you think. So it's a detective game where you are solving these crimes, but it makes you go through this critical thinking process. So cool. So it starts out with a flashback one, so there's more than one case, which is cool. I just finished the second case. And what it does is you're watching the scenes like you normally would in an FMV game. You have to periodically hit a key on your. It's almost like the game's like, are you paying attention? But like it'll pop up and say like, that's funny. They said the water was off, and you hit a key so that it like gets banked into your clues. And then what happens is when you get to the deductive reasoning section, it has a bunch of films of all the different scenes. You can rewatch them if you want, but really what it's making you do is it's making you connect thoughts. So it'll say things like, Steve was the only person downstairs at the time of the murder, and it has a couple nodes off of them, and each scene will have a little key point, and you have to try to connect the dots. Like there was a scream at that time, and you connect it, and then it will create hypotheses for you to look at. Some of them are red herrings. Some of them, it'll literally say, it'll try to go like the way that your thought process might have gone, but it'll say like this, oh, he got stabbed. And it'll say like, you go one way, it'll go, he got stabbed by someone who maybe had help. And then the other one is he got stabbed by someone who was supernaturally strong. But they want you to go, this is rooted in reality. There's no supernaturally strong person. That's the wrong line of thinking.
Huh.
And so as you put all of those together in the whole thing, we get to the end, it goes, okay, do you want to solve it? And in FMV form, it presents that to you, and it asks you questions with different prompts. And sometimes they're, in the best ways, they're skewed by, have you really figured it out? Or you're just kind of like trying to Scooby-Doo it. Like, oh, I think it was Old Man Willikers from the amusement park, but I haven't really thought of the way that it would have been him. Like, no, he did it because remember when he said this? That's contradictory to what actually happened. And I'm the only one that caught that kind of thing. It just great deductive reasoning thing with great, Japanese voice acting. You can switch to English too, but it's phenomenal to watch. And they just,
I can't believe it's made by Square Enix. The actors look incredible. They look so funny. The guy with the hat and it's amazing. Just looking at like a promotional image with the PlayStation logo and the actors just making the silliest faces.
Well, they did the whole like American Horror Story thing where like whether it's the present day one or in the past, they'll like use some of the same actors so that you become more familiar with those people because it gets
the Aishijima story situation. I see.
Yeah, it's based around this family, this Shijima family, and so it has to do with this whole there's a murder every 10 years, blah, blah, blah. So I get the feeling I've got like 5 or 6 or 7 more cases to go. But so far, a lot of content, and I'm just enjoying the crap out of it.
This looks cool.
It's really, it goes, like I said, some FMVs, they're very straight down a line, and you just pick a choice, and sometimes there's a dead end, like a choose your own adventure book, but other times it just... you go straight on through to the end. This one really made me stop. Like it almost might be a good stream game too, because it really makes you stop and think about, no, could they have done this? Oh, why was that muddy? Were they covering up footprints with the water? Why were there?
It's on iOS as well.
I think it's all over the place. When it originally came out, it kind of turned me off because it was full price. It was like $60. And I was like, oh, guys, FMV games are normally...
We got to get to Raph.
Sorry.
All right, Raph, what else have you got for us this week?
Okay, so you mentioned the open beta for Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, and I participated in that open beta this week.
Yeah, you did.
And holy hell, man, I had a really great time with this game. I had never played any Virtua Fighter game, and it is just like a fast-paced, in-your-face Tekken. It's so cool. But yeah, like the new version has that rollback netcode that you mentioned, like 4K, 60 FPS, new content and shit. But yeah, dude, no, I had a blast with it. I didn't run into really any problems with like the internet with it. Like as far as like the actual netcode and playing online and playing against other people, got my ass handed to me because I had no idea what I'm doing with that game. But man, dude, it's fun. I actually
had playing as.
Damn, I don't even remember the character's name. It was like
nobody knows. Nobody knows any of the characters like Virtua Fighter's names.
That main dude,
Kage, the ninja's name is Kage.
Oh, that's okay, yeah.
Ryu, yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Dead or Alive.
Yes, Ryu's. I was going to say, you like Virtua Fighter. Wait till you play a good 3D fighting game.
Oh, well, so that was my other thing is that I ended up, there was a publisher sale, so I picked up Tekken 8.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. It was like 34 bucks, $30 around there.
Have you played it?
I haven't played it yet. It took me like a day to install it because it's like 112 gigs. Yeah.
What?
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, I actually had to like rearrange stuff on my computer to get this thing to fit on there.
And I wonder if I should get it too, so we can play together.
Yeah, definitely. It looks good. But yeah, I mean, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. I ended up liking it so much that I ended up pre-ordering it was like $15. It comes out in January. So there's that. And then like I said, I picked up Tekken 8, and I'm pretty excited to mess around with that sometime this weekend.
I think that won Fighting Game of the Year, if I'm not mistaken.
Did it really? I don't remember that. But
Waffle
it looks
House or Riot.
really cool. It looks really, really, I don't know. It just looks like a lot of fun. So I'm excited to dive into those games.
Tekken's probably my favorite of all the 3D ones since Soul Calibur doesn't really exist anymore.
So hard. Like the Tekken games are so hard. I don't know what it is about them. They're so difficult.
It's the giant move list.
Yeah,
giant move. You've seen the meme that's like 12-year-old me going star. How do I do star?
Yeah, I've seen that recently. I think that must be popping up because of Tekken 8 winning the Game Awards. People are talking about it again.
It's funny though.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I get to now that I own Tekken 8, I can buy Clive and play as Clive. It's like,
hell yeah.
Apparently,
that's right.
Apparently, Tekken fans were not happy about that, and the reason why is because they were hoping that they would port Tifa into the game.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
But apparently
because of Rebirth and Remake.
Yeah.
whoever the director is for Tekken 8 has said that he's like, hey, we're open to having another Final Fantasy character in the game. So
why do I feel like Tifa has been in a fighting game?
Air Guys.
No, well that too, but wasn't she also in a Soul Calibur?
I don't know.
Or something?
That I'm not sure about.
I'll have to look that up. I swear to God. I'll put footage here if I'm correct.
It would make more sense if it was someone with a wet. Well,
I know, and that's why I think I remember being like, "Huh?" And they like gave her knuckles. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, people were weird about Clive because Clive has a sword, and Tekken is a mostly like martial arts based fighting game. That's why a lot of people were kind of weird about it.
When they put frickin' Akuma in it, he has a fireball. Nobody has a projectile in that except for like Devil Kazuya.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
Asma, what else you got? Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, that's perfect timing because this is the end of our show. That's right. We've done another episode. Thank you so much for sitting through another one. Do us a huge favor. Like this episode. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. If you are just listening to this on your favorite podcasting app, may I suggest that you head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it, because on there you can see us do our streams Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays pretty much. We stream a whole slew of different shit. I do Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I do UFO 50. Sometimes Raph does scary indie games. Sometimes it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a good time. Go check it out. Finally, you can reach us at our email with any questions or video games. If you're a publisher or a game maker and you want to send us a code for your game to play, you can email us at gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com, and you can find links to all that stuff and our merch store, as I mentioned earlier, at linktree/the GTP. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find them on Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you can find music on the internet. And of course, last but not least, we would like to thank RetroGameTreasure.com. Owned and operated by the Megabuck himself, Retro Game Treasure is a subscription service that sends you bespoke boxes of retro video games every month. That's right. They take all of the hassle out of collecting retro games. There's no more hunting, no more guessing, no more gouging, no more wasted time. Instead, you simply go to RetroGameTreasure.com, make your profile, tell Buck what kinds of games you like to play, what systems you have, and then he will painstakingly pack a box personally for you with games that will be new to your collection that you can pop in your retro consoles immediately to begin playing. Want to start collecting a new console? That is also easy thanks to RetroGameTreasure.com, because they have a console page where you can buy refurbished, basically like new consoles. Then you just go over to your profile, click that console on your preferences, and then boom, you just start getting video games for that console now. You want N64 games that are the games that you already said that you like to play, and then you start getting drip fed them. It's an amazing service. Go to www.retrogametreasure.com to start collecting retro games the easy way today. Buck, do you have a list of new subscribers to hit me with this week?
This week, we welcome Emily Jagoosh, David Osborne, Stephanie Vincent, and Andrew Blank.
Very good. Thank you guys so much. My name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.